You're watching the Live Well, brought to you by Rapala.
Hello and welcome to the Live Well presented by Rapala. Tommy Sanders here with Ronnie Moore. And folks, we are here at the 6th stop of the year for the Bassmaster Elite Series. We wrapped up the 5th stop, fabulous tournament at Lay Lake in Alabama. And now we're ready for the 5th time for the Elites to visit the Sabine River, a place unlike any other.
Yeah, well, you kind of talked about it before we came on camera. Winyah Bay, some places like that. A little bit of St. John's River at times, some Delta, long runs. Sabine River is a very interesting place. But Tommy, I want to go ahead and I want to take a pause. I want to apologize to the folks at Lay Lake. When we bracketed the season at the beginning of the year, we said the first 4 events, sight fishing, big bass, it was going to be crazy. The next 2 events, Lay and the Sabine, might be tougher. Who knows the drama that could unfold there. I want to apologize because Lay was absolutely fantastic. If the Sabine is even a fraction of dramatic as Lay, we're going to have a great midsection of our season before we go up north.
Oh, there's drama already built into this tournament. Last time, for example, we had a battle between 2 guys who were fishing 200 miles apart, Jason Christie and Brock Mosley.
I wouldn't want to make that drive from one spot to another in a truck on land, rather less on boat throughout the intercoastal waterway, hundreds of miles, like you said. That is the one dynamic of the Sabine, though. You can go as far north as you can possibly make it on fuel. We know Christie was managing that gas consumption-wise, or you can make the long, more traveled route to Houston, which has its own variables as well. But places along the way can also factor, and that's why when the schedule came out, they said, man, I wish we were in Texas in April or early May when it wasn't 1,000 degrees outside. But Tommy, the Sabine River fished very well in June with the one time we've had it this time of year. 2018, Greg Hackney, 48 pounds and change, really on par with the previous 2 finishes there, 50 and 49 pounds respectively. There's a lot of things that can happen, and one thing, when we get away from the spawn in Texas and these small backwater places, the fish spread out. You can catch them on the main river. They're not all just in the back ends of the canal spawning and things like that. You'll catch them on topwater flipping. There's a lot of different places along the Sabine River that you're going to see groups of anglers succeed.
Yeah, the Sabine River, of course, one of the main water features of East Texas, flows all the way down from north of Lake Fork, all the way makes Toledo Bend, and then all the way out. You can go on the intercoastal, as you mentioned, peek up into the Neches River, go into Trinity River if you wanted to, and Trinity Bay past there, all the way almost to NASA over there to fish in League City, Texas.
One thing that's obviously a big factor is the fact that we only fish in Texas waters. It makes this giant fishery a lot smaller, having no Louisiana waters in play, only Texas, but we've seen plenty of drama. And one thing, if you catch that 11, 12 pounds a day mark, you're going to be close to the winning weight if you're not the winner indeed. But one thing that's awesome about that 12 pounds a day, 4-pounders, we've seen them get caught there, 5-pounders, even 6-pounders as well. If you get that one bite, you have set your day. I can have a 15-pound day now because I've caught a 5 or 6-pounder. So those will be gold. I always love big bass, but I love when they make more of a difference. If you catch a 6-pounder at Lake Fork, it doesn't make as nearly much of a difference as it does at the Sabine. So one big bite can put someone from down in the 20s back in the game.
Yeah, anything can happen. Of course, the place has changed. There's been a big hurricane go through there, and that rearranges things around. I don't know if the places we've seen before are going to play this time. Seems like the mindset of all the anglers is get away from everybody else and somehow find a place where you can find, as you say, that 1 or 2 big ones throughout the course of 4 days.
You mentioned it. We've been there. This is now going to be the 5th time for the Elite Series. We've seen it won way north up the river. We've seen it won in Taylor's. We've seen it won around the Neches. We've seen other places factor. So I'm really excited what new place may develop, or a place that's maybe contributed to top 10s but not the win in past years. We'll see if it can win. Also, you have that area right by the ramp where Greg Hackney was successful, just a few years ago, 2018, our most recent time period that's similar to this year. But Tommy, we're going to have fun. We're going to see him flipping soft plastics. We're going to see him throwing a frog. I know that's going to be a thing, a Terminator popping frog, things like that. We'll see a spinnerbait probably factor.
Plenty last time.
We also see that change. Released fish are kind of a deal this week. We see guys start out the weeks in some of those bays and rivers off of the Sabine River, but then once day 3, day 4 hits, you start to see some guys who maybe are out of fish in their areas get closer to that main river, get closer to takeoff, and they make the most out of just a couple fish that maybe have been redistributed to that part of the river. We'll see how that factors, but like you said, somebody ran way up north, somebody ran way out west, and they both were neck and neck on that final day. We'll see. I wonder if someone will go to Houston this year and make it work. It's came up short so close so many times. We'll see. Maybe we'll get a victory out of it.
Absolutely. And we can't leave without mentioning the great crowds at Orange, Texas. I think they occupy much of the top 10 biggest crowds we've ever had. Their great town, City of Orange Boat Ramp is our headquarters. One final question, Ronnie. 10 pounds a day, will that get you into the top 10?
I think it'll be. I think that it'll be a little higher than that.
Okay.
I think maybe 32 will get you the top 10. But then they might have a really tough 8th, 9th, 10th, 7th, somewhere in there. Will have a tough final day, and so it'll kind of equalize with maybe 40 pounds for 10th place or something like that. But I'd expect somebody. I wanted to see it fish a little better than we expect. That's what Lay did. I'm expecting the same from the Sabine.
Really looking forward to the Sabine. Thank you for joining us today on the Live Well presented by Rapala. We'll have coverage for it, all of it, here on Bassmaster.com.